Hi guys, so this video today is all going to be about my story. So fat loss, basically what led up to me starting this channel, because like a lot happened. Why am I doing that? It's only because I might mention a load of stuff in all subsequent videos which kind of led up to making the channel and led up to me being in the situation I'm in now. So rather than leave all of those issues kind of hanging in the air unexplained, I thought I would just do a video that explained what's happened to me the last couple of years, what led to me having a lot of time to be able to devote to this channel and to make videos and stuff, and to pursue my fitness goals to an extreme that perhaps I never would have been able to do previously if circumstances hadn't colluded to leave me in the situation I'm in now. So and then it also will kind of cover my motivation behind the videos and the channel and everything and stuff. So yeah, just basically like just a really quick video about my story and what happened and who I am and stuff. So there's a bit of just like a context, so every video you watch you'll at least kind of know a bit about me and who I am. I find a lot of other YouTubers kind of get started in YouTube casually and they end up making this video when they've got a bit of success and people kind of know who they are and they've got tons of videos. I was gonna, because I've watched so many YouTubers, then that's how I kind of fell in love with YouTube, and part of the reason I started this channel. You see that pattern, I think it would be good, I've had more of, because I've seen that, I can like plan a bit more in advance and then put that video out there sooner, so it kind of explains the context of who I am and what I'm doing and all that stuff. I'll put another video in the description that explains specifically about the channel and what I want the channel to achieve and what the channel's all about and my views on fitness and nutrition and stuff. But this is all just going to be about my journey, and yeah, hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, welcome back. So yeah, my story, basically what happened is the last 2-ish years have been mental, like just insane. Bit of a roller coaster to say the least. But all these events have transpired and have led me to this point, which I'm really happy about because it means I can make videos, start a YouTube channel. How many people get the chance to do that, especially like full time, which I'm doing it at the moment. That's not because I'm like some amazing financial guru who has managed to get himself in a financial situation where he's been able to quit his job. I was made redundant, so now I am able to start a YouTube channel, and which is something that is just like insanely exciting and great, and I'm so happy that I can do it. Because it basically means I get to kind of pursue my health and fitness and nutrition goals and film it and share it, and hopefully it will turn into something that I can do just like full time, and that would be amazing. And the idea of sharing my knowledge and learning more through doing this YouTube channel is just like awesome. I've learned tons through YouTube. I love YouTube. I've learned so much from watching other people, other YouTubers, through their experiences and what they've learned about fitness and how they've evolved. So you watch the earlier videos and then you watch them now, and they've evolved a lot in terms of how they explain the information and the quality of the information. And it's just like, I wouldn't know what I know now if it wasn't for kind of watching a lot of YouTube. I find it is what I love about YouTube the most is you can find a very specific thing, like almost exactly what you need, rather like if you read a book, you'll probably, as much as it will all be useful and you'll enjoy reading that book and absorbing all that information, there'll be certain things that you'll take out of it that you'll remember a lot more vividly because they'll just resonate with you, and it was stuff that you were curious about. And then a lot of it may be kind of superfluous, or just you won't remember it as much because it won't resonate as much. With YouTube, I find you can laser direct yourself and find that specific thing you want to find. So for example, rather than me reading a whole book about micronutrition and vitamins and minerals and every mineral, and then reading about it again, because you're reading, I always find there's a lot of like superfluous information. With YouTube, you can, if you find a good person that you can follow, you'll find bang, potassium, and then someone, like Dr. Berg, who is amazing, who I followed for years, and I've learned tons from following Dr. Berg. He would explain, there'll be a video about potassium and it would just be so concise and it would just tell me exactly what I need to know, and in like 10-15 minutes I'll be like, boom, feel like a potassium expert and I know so much more about it. So, and then you'll do one about magnesium and one about zinc, and then you'll start learning about other vitamins, and then he'll have a general video about all of those vitamins and minerals and how they work, and you dive down this rabbit hole of information, and suddenly you just know so much more than you did. And you have to go to like multiple sources. You should never rely on any one source. I would say anyone who starts watching my videos, don't just take my word for it. Jesus, do not just take my word for it, okay? Watch other YouTubers, read books, read articles, really, if you watch 3 YouTubers and they all say the same thing, and then you read a book and that echoes what you think you've learned, and then you read some articles as well and that kind of backs up what you've learned, kind of more up-to-date stuff from studies or whatever, then you're probably on the right track. Probably what you think is pretty factual and you can talk about with a degree of authority, but don't just watch one YouTuber and take their word for it. That would just be like total madness. So anyway, sorry, digressing slightly. So my story, basically, let's get on with it, let's get started. So basically this all happened beginning of last year, okay? So about April 2019, I say about exactly April 2019. First thing that happened to me was I was miserable in my relationship, so I broke up with my girlfriend. Now, that was definitely the right decision, but it was one of those breakups, I'm sure you've all had them, where even though it was the right decision, even though you weren't happy, it was still like very, we were together a long time and we lived together and stuff, so it was rough. It wasn't easy, it was stressful. Now, that alone would have been enough, okay? That was stressful and that was hard. That just combined with like quite an intense full-time job. I travel a lot for my job, and it can be quite stressful at times, but kind of the same as everyone else's. So having a full-time job and breaking up with my then girlfriend was rough. That would have been more than enough for a year, thank you very much. But then my dad, about a week and a half after we broke up, decided to go and have a phenomenally serious heart attack where he almost died. If my nan's house wasn't close to, I think, the best cardiac hospital, one of the best cardiac hospitals in London, he probably would have died. It was like one of those, couldn't have been more serious, basically, heart attacks. But he managed to get to this hospital. They managed to in one of his hours, so he was okay. He then subsequently had another operation where he had another stent put in, and now he's doing pretty well. He's certainly on the road to recovery, and he's fine now. But that happened like a week after, so this had this like compound effect where I must have been through some things in my life. This was like this like pincer movement of like, this was like a pincer movement of stress. So I was dealing with like 2 things at the same time. Didn't have, my girlfriend supporting me. I don't think she knew what the hell to do, which is fair enough, I don't blame her. I wouldn't really know what to do. You're kind of like furious at someone, but at the same time, they've almost lost a parent, so like what the hell do you do? You can imagine that's a mix of emotions. But something like kind of snapped when I went and saw my dad in the hospital. Like I felt like I was under so much stress, and so much anxiety, thought of like losing him, just something snapped, and I haven't been the same since. Like something just broke in my brain or whatever, and I haven't been the same since. I've dealt with kind of anxiety, quite serious anxiety since then. But I've done another video about it, which I'll link, but I stopped drinking, and then I started training loads, and that was kind of the start of that was probably one factor that led into starting this channel, was really ramping up my training and enjoying it more and more, and it just becoming a bigger and bigger part of my life. So yeah, my dad, after about 2 months in hospital, you know, he improved. There was no like wobbles or anything. He did just like gradually improve, and then he got discharged. And like I say, he's got better and better, and he's doing okay now. And so that's what 2019 was about. Basically, it was like the stress and watching my dad carefully and hoping my dad was going to be okay, and supporting the rest of my family. Like the hardest part of that whole thing, you know, if you've ever gone through it, or if you're ever going to go through it, you know, brace yourself. The hardest part isn't getting the phone call and hearing that something's happened to them. It's having to tell your close friends and family. So I'm super close to my younger sister. She's like one of my best mates. So calling her and telling her what happened to my dad was easily the hardest part of kind of anything I had to go through that day, and just massively stressed me out. So even thinking about it now just makes me feel weird and a bit like shaky. So we will move on swiftly, because that'd be hilarious. Or maybe I should like faint or something on camera. That would like go viral or something, right? The guy who was explaining his life story for the last 2 years and faints actually on camera. Hilarious. So yeah, I won't do that. I'll move on. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, that happens in 2019, and then the rest of 2019 is basically about that, trying to move on, making sure my dad's okay, and it was just kind of tough. God knows how I did it. It was probably quitting alcohol in October and working really hard that led to me getting promoted. So towards the end of 2019, I got a promotion at work, and started feeling better. You know, I was dating, and that was going okay, and had some more money because of my promotion, and it just always feels great to get promoted at work, right? So 2019 wasn't, the end of 2019 still wasn't great, but it was improving. And then 2020 came around, and I was like, this is going to be a great year. You can see where this is going, can't you? This is going to be a great year. Like, screw last year, that's done, right? 2019 is history. It's a write-off. My dad's going to be great this year. I'm going to get my dad fit, and 2019 is just going to be this like amazing year. I'm just going to crush it, and I'm going to be happy. And you know, I had my bad year. That's what I kept telling myself. I've had my bad year. That's it. It's done. Don't need to worry about that anymore. It's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. I've earned myself a good couple of years now because 2019 was so bad. And then Corona. Yeah. Corona comes along and lockdown comes along, and that did not go too well for me. I was one of the people of, you know, many hundreds of thousands of people who was negatively affected by Corona. It wasn't 100% Corona because of the way things worked out. So when I was promoted by the COO, who then left. The guys who inherited that whole situation took over from him. They brought someone else in that literally did the same role as me. It was identical. At that time, it wasn't a big deal, but I did start getting nervous. You know, that is never a situation you want to be in. I moved into a different role to what I traditionally had done before, whereas the person who they moved into that had done that her whole career. She had years and years of experience. So yeah, again, you can see where this is going. I was kind of screwed. There was kind of a target on my back. I walked into basically a redundant position at some point. So yeah, that's kind of how that transpired. And as it came up to the whole furlough time, so what was that, like May, my boss called me, told me, you know, look, there was going to be redundancies anyway. We were going for a redundancy review and you were on the list, but we're going to furlough you for 3 months and see how it goes. They furloughed me, that got extended another month, but then I was told that I am going to be made redundant, and I was. So, hey presto, here we are. The whole furlough thing and being made redundant was really stressful. I probably haven't, you know, compared to my dad and stuff, it wasn't. And it's been up and down. Like, partly I've enjoyed it and love having the time, and partly you're kind of stressed out that you don't have a job and you don't have income and stuff like that. And the added stress is because of Corona, where Corona is an absolute bitch. is because, you know, the economy's screwed and the job markets aren't great. I don't know now when I'm going to be able to get a new full-time job. So I'm living off like the decent payout I got and my savings. But I kind of made the bold decision. I just thought, screw it, right? I'm just going to try and follow a dream, right? And start a YouTube channel. And that is it. That is where we are today. It is, you know, September 2020, and it started, and I'm trying to bang out videos and, you know, get this thing going. I'm super realistic about, you know, all I'm going to be able to do. I've probably got 3 months max, maybe 4 if I'm really careful in terms of money, until I'll have to get a full-time job, almost no matter what that is. You know, take something that's a lot less money, you know, whatever. I'm confident that if I really put my head down and try really hard, I'll be able to get a job. I'm sure there's something out there, even, you know, like I said, it's significantly less money. But I will have to do that at some point. So, you know, say for example, I end up being able to do 4 months. That's 4 months of absolutely banging out videos, getting as many good, high quality videos made as I can, trying to get some momentum and traction. You know, also doing tons of stuff on Instagram to complement the two. But yeah, basically just try to get some momentum and get this started and get it moving. I'm very realistic about the fact that I will be nowhere by the time I then have to get a full-time job, but having that initial momentum, I'm hoping, will at least make things a lot easier, and I can then, you know, go from making, I don't know what, I'm going to try and make like 10 videos a week, to then it will go back, you know, with a full-time job it might be 2, but then it will just be, you know, you just be building on what you've already created, and it can just be a hobby that ticks away in the background. And the beauty of all of this is, the point of it is that I'll be really motivated, like more motivated than ever, to stay super fit, because you've got a channel that is like feeding that desire, if that makes sense, feeding that goal, that objective. Yeah, so that's what I like about it. That's what I love about having the YouTube channel. It like really holds you accountable. Like if you want the channel to be successful, which I do, it makes you super accountable. Like you wake up every day and be like, I've got to train, and it's got to be structured, and I've got to film it, and I've got to, you know, make sure my nutrition's really good and my meals are really good, because I want to film it and I want the guys to see what I'm doing, and you know, I really want it to make sense and be coherent. And then I've got to plan new videos about nutrition and stuff, so you've got to research to make sure all of that's on point, so you learn and you grow like way quicker than I did before, because you know, before it was just dipping in and out so much, because it really was a hobby. As much as this is still a hobby, it's just like a full-time hobby, if that makes any sense at all. It's not, I'm treating it like a job, but yeah, realistically it's a full-time hobby, because I obviously make no money from it. So that's it basically. So yeah, mad couple of years, super stressful, really tough, but if I can look back at some point, whenever the hell that is, and look at this all as, you know, a really stressful period, but you know, maybe it had to be stressful in some weird way, like fate made it so that I had to go through this stress so that I could then end up with this opportunity to pursue a dream of doing a fitness YouTube channel, because I'm just so super passionate about fitness and nutrition that I can then make that like my job. And if there's any chance that in maybe 2 years, 3 years, you know, before I'm 37, so maybe, you know, by the time I'm 40, I could quit my full-time job and just do YouTube and just and help people and train people, and pursue, you know, just a life that revolves around health and fitness and nutrition, then that would just be incredible. And I would look at all of this to say that, wow, you know, just amazing, and totally worth it, totally worth all that pain and everything I had to go through. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I love making the videos, love talking to you guys, love doing this stuff. So please like, subscribe. If you've got any questions about any of that, bang them in the description below, and I'll get back to as many people as I can. But please like and subscribe and all that stuff and support the channel. And yeah, I just hope that was like really honest and open. I want to be open and honest with you guys and share everything. You know, I think that's important. If you're going to do a YouTube channel, if you want people to like follow you and follow your life, then, you know, and put yourself out there, you should be honest, and really just put your cards on the table, because I find that's just, you know, really genuine, and that's always made me respect and kind of support and follow people I've followed in the past, and just thought people like that were more genuine, and I appreciated it as a YouTube kind of subscriber, follower, viewer, whatever. So I wanted to make sure I tried to do the same and even go a step further if possible. So yeah, cheers. Appreciate that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.